Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we got to the job this morning. We got our fires started on our first pile. So I didn't start a video here yet, so that's what I'm doing now. Yesterday we actually started this project. This project consists of a half a mile of ditch bank that had brush over on the ditch, which George mowed all that off beautifully. And then it had brush up here on the top. I don't know if this was some kind of filter strip or what, but it never got mowed, so it was allowed to grow up to 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch trees. There's a couple that are pretty healthy, so there might be a few 6-inch trees. But we're going through and we're tearing all that out. So we're getting, there's mulberries, there's sumac, there's bush honeysuckles, all kinds of crap on here. So I brought one of my favorite tools for that. It's laying down here. And if you've paid attention to my logo, you'll see this tool on the Excavator, on the 220 Hyundai in the logo. So I'm going to go get it. Dad laid it off down here. I run the Bobcat for a little while yesterday afternoon. Yesterday morning we had to run up to LaPorte, Indiana to an appliance store that sells Speed Queen washers and dryers, and I picked up our new washer and dryer. So I really like the Speed Queens. I got a set in my old house from they're probably 70s or 80s, and they're still kicking. So I decided to go with a new set for the new place. And we are staying at the new place now. So I'm pretty happy about that. Got a few things left to do, but things that could be done with us staying there, so pretty excited. So we are just east of Brims, Indiana. So for those of you that are familiar with that area, that's where we're working. Pretty interesting story about Brims. It was one of the first towns or villages that was settled before the railroads came through here in Stark County, Indiana. There's stories of old timers taking rowboats from Brims to Hamlet to Knox to get around. But you got to remember, back in the day, a lot of this area was flooded. There wasn't the ditches that we have now, and there wasn't the rivers that we have now to keep it dried out. So a lot of this was only accessible by boat travel. How do you get off there? Get just right to get out of them jaws. There we go. It's kind of nice though, because it's kind of a safety feature. Let's see if I can get my rake grabbed. I don't know who left it lay face down like this. Somebody did though. Give you a couple guesses. Stood up. Come on, get on there. It's a little bit picky about going. There it goes. There we go. Alright, got the rake on. But anyways, Brims was actually called Jackson for a while after the railroad came through. And then they claim that it took the last name of one of the people that lived there. So, pretty interesting place. It's where Stark County Co-op's agronomy division's at. It's where we built the new fertilizer shed a couple of years ago. I got videos of that. Alright, we're going to go down here and we'll get started. Well, we're going to get started where we left off last night. That sun is just bright as can be. I can't believe it's so bright, and they say we're supposed to get snow this afternoon. Thought we were out of this winter weather crap, but I guess not. And they're doing peeling right out. using this rake because it gets a lot of mulberry roots as we go. Find the right one, it's like picking up spaghetti. The sun is super bright today. Even with my sunglasses on, it's still... Some of them come out real easy, other ones they just kind of linger on. George can rake that up. I typically use this rake just for cleanup after we've cleared the woods. Just go in and rake sections at a time. But it works real good for this too, especially when you get into the bushier stuff. What would be cool is if I could turn it and rake with it sideways when I swing. this isn't going to get farmed, so if there are some little scraggly ones, we'll just nip them off the mower. Wrap around there. Thing was we didn't want to mow everything off because we were worried about when they do come to mow it with just tractor and batwing, we're worried about tire punctures. So that's why we're going through and tearing as much of it as we possibly can out, and then it'll get mowed and then they can drive over it safely. Sod up there. I would much rather clear standing large timber woods than I would do this stuff. Little trees are just monotonous. Big trees are fun. Well, we're down to our last little standing grove of mulberries here. Let's get these out. And then I'm gonna try to peel some out where George mowed some off before we decided that we were gonna go ahead and take them stump and all. We've done a pretty good job mowing them, but there's still some stumps there. I'm afraid that that's going to be a tire issue. pile lit for the day. Waiting to see what the wind was going to do. We're supposed to have thunderstorms this afternoon. They were talking snow, now they changed it to thunderstorms, and then maybe snow overnight. So I don't know what's going to happen exactly. It seems way too nice out right now for it to snow tonight, but you know, it is early spring in Indiana and anything is possible. Get my grass planted soon. It is that time of year. There's the option of sod, and I might do a little bit of sod up around the house. I got my buddy Ryan Katz, owns Katz Sod Farm over in Hebron, and I talked to him about some sod. Thinking about doing my landscaping around the house with my stone, and then going ahead and laying maybe, I don't know, so far out sod, that way it locks everything in place as far as landscaping and all that. And then I'll just plant grass seed to match the rest of it, because that stuff is kind of expensive. About, I think he told me, well, I don't know if that's the price for everybody, but I think 35 cents a square foot. And I gotta go pick it up, which that's not too far to drive for it. But the nice thing is, you roll it out, water it, and it's already established growing. But I got a lot of yard to put all the sod. That'd be pretty expensive. My thing was, if we got it up around the house, so far out from the house all the way around, then we could walk all the way around the house and not be in the topsoil and in the dirt, you know, and tracking that in. First, before I do anything, I need to decide what I'm doing on sidewalks and all that. I'd hate to bring topsoil in and put sod down and realize, oh, I wanted to put a sidewalk there, so I'm gonna have to plan all that stuff out first. Kind of got a rough idea in my head what I want to do. Just gotta see if funds are available at the moment to do it. I'd like to do a sidewalk from the shop all the way to the house. I think that'd be really nice. The pea gravel I got laid out now works really good. It's just real loose under your feet when you walk. Might just go along with some kind of just stone walkway. I don't know yet. There's a lot of options. watch for some grass seed to come on sale. That stuff's expensive. I'm not going to get too crazy like a Kentucky bluegrass or something expensive. I think I'm just going to, I don't know, should just plant a playground mix and call it good. Should plant a pasture mix, just let the cows come right in the backyard with the dogs. Alright, there we go. It's the last of the standing trees. Gotta go through and clean things up, get things burning. George can rake all that up. Get the loader back here eventually. Dad's mowing it behind me. Whatever's left standing. Really nice. Our loader transmission was 85% worn out, and what happens is when they wear like that, they're like an engine, they start getting tolerances loose and they start losing oil pressure for lube oil. Well, that explains why that top bearing kept getting smoked out of it. That was because it was low on pressure, and that's a high point in the transmission, and it wasn't quite getting oil up to it. So they found a rebuild kit in Canada, and they're in the process of rebuilding it. The shaft that the bearing spun on, they're going to weld that up, and they're going to fix that and make it hold the bearing again. There was the drum inside that they were able to salvage, fix that, and there was another shaft that I think had some splines worn on it, and they're able to come up with one of them. So the loader is going to get put back together, and I want to say a rebuild was only $7,500, so it wasn't too bad. But we still are going to look for an upgrade for the loader because parts are getting very hard to find. So it's one of them things where we're going to keep using it, but we're going to find a backup. And viewer asked me what my choice of loader was going to be if we did get something else, and it's between a Deere, Komatsu, and a Hyundai. So that was kind of my choice of loaders that I wanted to really check out, see what our options were. I definitely want a joystick for the loader that goes with the seat, so that way when I'm raking, it's not working on my shoulder constantly. Because when you rake, you know, for 5-6 hours a day, bouncing up and down the seat, it's nice to have that that joystick go with you. That way you're not working your shoulder joint constantly. Alright, I'm going to finish raking through this. I think I'm going to have George go through it, rake it up with the skid steer, and whatever wood he can grab, have him take it to the pile before I try to root around and find the stumps in it. We'll get this cleaned up one way or another. Well, we got this pile burning real good. Burning pretty fast because it got quite a bit of wind today. So we're gonna let it do its thing for a while, burn down, and then we'll rack it, let it burn again. We'll move the excavator over here in the dirt. I'll go and get some lunch. Hopefully by the time we get back, it'll be burnt down quite a bit. We can restack it and go do a few other things today and come back later and stack it again. Let it finish burning. Got Loctite on my thumb. I had to tighten the bolt up that holds the retainer pin in, or retainer cap on the pin. Alright, let's go to lunch. I'm hungry. So we came back from lunch, done some raking, done some cleanup, let this pile burn down some more. As you can see, it's tremendously lost its size. Go ahead and restack it. It's supposed to start really storming here around 4 o'clock, which my time is wrong on my screen. It is actually, film light up. 2:30 is actually what time it is. So we got a while yet before that storm gets here, but we know how that goes. They're not always accurate with that. I want to try to get the rest of this pile burned up before the storm hits, but I don't think that's going to happen. But at least we can stack it, get it good and tight and burning still. So if we do get a bunch of rain, it's not going to affect it. There's some dirt in it because of all the little stumps. But with all that wind, it'll keep it burning good. There we go, get that hot stuff up on there and stuffed in. Close. Gotta go home and pull the valve covers back off of the 3406B cat project sitting in the shop because a viewer luckily caught, and I don't know how that I missed this, when we were putting the Jake brakes back on, they were swapped, front and rear. And I swear that when we took them off, they got laid out exactly the way they came out of the engine, and they got put back on the way they came out. So, I don't know how they got swapped around. No big deal though. In fact, I don't even think it would have hurt to run that way. They just wouldn't have worked. So, gonna get that straightened out. Don't go too deep in there. Dirt came from. A lot of that's ash. Had just come off the stumps. So we'll get that swapped back around, touch the paint back up. No big deal. Stuff happens. As long as it's not a rod bolt, main bolt, something like that got missed, we're good. Which George and I checked and double checked and then checked some more to make sure all that stuff was tight. Wish I would have had a book on the Jake brakes, because that would have told me that they need to make sure that they were the way that they go. That'll start burning again. It's got a lot of hot stuff in it. Oh yeah, it's getting hot. It's almost a little too much wind. Alright, the other pile I'm just going to string out and call that one good. This one, let's let this one burn overnight and come back tomorrow and deal with the rest of it. This project turned out really nice. Really cleaned it up a lot. I should have took some pictures before and after. Go over here to the ditch so you can see the ditch. George's got it all mowed off real nice. About a half a mile here. Not really good. I like it. Oops, dropped my phone on the floor. Alright, I'm gonna go mess with that other pile, and then I think I'm gonna get out of here for the day. So thank you for watching, greatly appreciate it, and see you all in the next one.